Our entire experience of life is constructed through our senses. So everything that we see, touch, hear, smell and taste has a direct impact on what we think and feel. I only truly began to understand this concept during my Bachelor of Fine Art Honours year at the University of Newcastle in 2012. And more importantly, I realised that we have the power to change our experience of life, what we think and feel, through our environment. My name is Bliss Cavanagh and I'm an artist, entrepreneur and PhD researcher at the University of Newcastle. By changing my environment and engaging my senses in particular ways, I was able to come to terms with living with Tourette syndrome. This self-knowledge changed my life. I was diagnosed with Tourette syndrome at the age of 9, but had showed symptoms since I was 6. Tourette syndrome is a neurological disorder characterised by tics, which are rapid, repetitive, non-rhythmic vocalisations or movements. Growing up with Tourette syndrome was difficult, and I kept this part of myself hidden and worked constantly to internalise many of my tics out of fear of being stigmatised. The pop culture representations I saw of Tourette syndrome in the media, movies and TV made me feel more isolated, even to the point of feeling unworthy, as if my Tourette's wasn't real enough because I didn't swear uncontrollably. I had never met anyone else with Tourette's, and I didn't know that swearing or repetition of words was actually quite uncommon and only presented in 10% of people with Tourette syndrome. I also had no idea that Tourette's was actually much more common than people think, presenting in 1 in every 100 people. I developed depression, social anxiety and low self-esteem, which affected my life greatly until I was 21, when my passion as an artist completely transformed my life. During my honours year, I began making work that was more focused on creating an experience for the audience, becoming more abstract and playing with colour, light and texture. I wanted to work with materials that made me feel good, and I wanted to create experiences that made other people feel good also. Further research led me to the discovery of multisensory environments used in psychiatry. I was absolutely amazed. Revelations about my entire life came to surface. I saw the connections between Tourette syndrome and the senses. I understood why I have always been drawn to particular sensory experiences, why I would lay in the dark, surround myself with my collection of lava lamps and fibre optic UFO lights, burn scented candles and listen to music all at once just to be able to completely feel relaxed. And I've been doing this ever since I was a little kid. I realised that art making was a sensory experience in itself, and that during these acts of creativity, I was actually tic-free. Art was my medication, my mode of self-care, and I've been self-medicating my entire life since I was old enough to hold a pencil. So for my honours project, I decided to design and create my own personal multisensory environment as an art installation, with the aim to alleviate my symptoms of Tourette syndrome. And the result was actually a huge success. I had never felt so relaxed and happy, and I was in an environment that was specifically designed for me, by me, and it wasn't located in a mental health facility. I was able to see my Tourette's as an important part of myself and of my creativity, an acceptance that enabled me to overcome many of my challenges. The gallery space made it accessible to the community, and the unexpected finding was the response from others who had experienced the installation. People shared how much the space had impacted them as well, made them feel relaxed and calm, and parents told me they had never seen their children sit so still and yet still be so engaged. The success of my honours work provided me with a purpose and a passion to start my own creative business, and I established myself as a practicing sensory artist, creating unique sensory installations for community and corporate events, schools, disability organisations and mental health units. I've also developed a luxury range of sensory products that appeal to all ages and abilities, with a passion for making sensory benefits available to everyone. Many people self-identified benefits that they felt from experiencing my work, and this led me to pursue interdisciplinary research across health science and fine art, and explore the benefits of multisensory environments for the general population, and how artistic design could bridge this gap to make it more accessible. My PhD research involved transforming a study room in the University of Newcastle library into an artistically designed multisensory environment. Students and staff were invited to participate in the study, which included completing a survey before and after their experience. We measured things like changes in different emotional states and moods, changes in ratings of stress, and perceptions regarding the individual sensory elements. We also conducted in-depth interviews to explore participants' experiences and perceptions of the space. and our findings will be published later this year. Understanding the benefits that tailored sensory stimulation can provide has empowered me to better practice self-care in daily life. Strategies that I use include chilling out under my favourite 8-kilo weighted blanket. I've made it using the absolute softest faux fur fabrics that I could find. So weighted blankets are used to stimulate the proprioceptive sensory system and are a really great tool to assist self-regulation. The weight acts as a type of deep pressure touch therapy that results in feeling grounded, comforted and calm in a physical and psychological way. When the weighted pressure is gently applied to your body, serotonin is produced, which lifts your mood, and your nervous system relaxes. The serotonin then naturally converts to melatonin and your body feels comforted and calm, enabling your mind and body to relax and rest. I use my weighted blanket every day, and when I'm feeling particularly anxious or I'm having trouble sleeping, I reach straight for it. Other sensory-based strategies I use include a number of fidget toys I have handy at my desk. Squeezy stress toys, shake-up glittery, watery things. These small items provide tactile benefits to relieve tension and visual benefits of engagement and distraction that works on a particular level of non-directed attention. So by providing the senses with stimuli that it can understand that doesn't require directed attention or executive functioning, we can actually stimulate alternative neural pathways to improve self-regulation and alleviate anxiety. The same goes for listening to certain types of music while studying or working, which can be really helpful for some people. These types of sensory tools are a great way to help improve focus and attention resources and reduce stress and anxiety, especially when I'm working at my desk. Much in the same way that my tics disappear during the art-making processes, I can also achieve the same benefits when I'm singing in the car or dancing in my kitchen. Rhythmic movements and sounds can help to regulate my mind and body, physically and mentally, to the point that I feel as though my Tourette's energy is directed and engaged through these activities, and it's actually satisfied. It feels like more than just a distraction technique. It's not draining, but it's energizing by harnessing the Tourette's energy into a positive outlet. So these are a bunch of other sensory-based strategies that I've added to my toolkit to help regulate my emotions and stress levels. Every person with Tourette syndrome is unique, and there are hundreds, if not thousands, of variations of tics and tic severities experienced. But things like stress, emotions, and the environment can impact tic frequencies and severity, so being able to implement daily strategies can help me better manage are essential. And more than that, they have empowered a sense of control and choice in my life, which has made me a much more confident, resilient, and happy person. If you'd like to find out any more information, please visit www.happysenses.com.au.